Good morning, everyone, and welcome here for our second town hall already, organized by AWDC. We are making it like a habit to inform and update you regularly about the current projects running at AWDC, the ones that are in the pipeline, and also some results we have achieved the past few months and weeks. But let's start with a look at the current international market situation and how this impacts the activity in Antwerp and how this also affects our trade figures. And the floor is yours.
Right, thank you. Welcome, everyone. The trade figures, as we did in the last town hall, I'm giving you an overview at first on the sort of global picture of this is Antwerp Diamond Office figures, so not the global figures, obviously. As you can see, we're still on a downward trend. I can tell you that overall, this first 6 months of the year, in total, we are down in terms of value for the total package of minus 27%. So we still see that we haven't yet reached the bottom. I think, as you know, factors include the enduring impact of sanctions. We'll talk about it later. Colleague Manuela will address this also and show you the impact of sanctions. There's the geopolitical turmoil in the sense of tariffs, US tariffs that is still looming. Currently, we're still at a 10%, but as you know, there is a looming deadline of the 9th of July. So that is something that I think many of us will be anxious to find out what will happen on July 9th, not just in terms of Europe. As you know, we mentioned it last time, we managed to exclude diamonds from retaliatory tariffs from the European side, but obviously there's still a big question on what will happen on 9th of July in terms of tariffs on polished diamonds. Just a quick reminder that in terms of polished diamonds, the origin that is typically used to determine which tariff would apply is the place of a substantial transformation. For a lot of the diamonds that we trade as an industry globally, that obviously would be the Indian tariff. So on the lookout to see what happens in the negotiations between India and the US. But obviously also from a European perspective, for example, very important for our manufacturers here at home, we have to wait and see what happens next. We try to get as much information as we possibly can from our government, from the European Commission, but it's not always easy to get accurate information on the state of affairs. So not a bright picture here, and I think that is clear also in the next slide. When we look at the Marie, next slide. Yes. When we look at the rough, we still see in terms of carat, and especially also in volume. I think this is something every one of us is experiencing, that the value of diamonds, if you compare them to 2 or 3 years ago, is still significantly lower. So the dollar values are an even more pronounced decline in terms of the crisis that we still experience. And in the next slide, when we look at polished, we see very similar figures. Also polished prices still under a lot of pressure. So this is not a very comforting look. The last slide on the trade figures, obviously we will make this presentation available so you can go through the information. And on our website, as you know, there's a lot of information on the trade figures on a monthly basis as well. But you see in terms of trade figures, I think a number of things that are very, very pronounced here is that the exports of polished diamonds to the US have more than halved. Needless to say, tariffs, a 10% tariff in our world is still a very, very significant percentage. Considering the margins, the average margins that we as midstream traders have. So the US is a very clear and pronounced decline. You also see Israel in obviously not the biggest chunk of the pie here, but the ongoing geopolitical tensions clearly have a role there as well. And in terms of India, we also see a significant change. So I think those figures are pretty clear. They will not come as a surprise to you. I imagine you feel it yourself as a company. For us as an organization, obviously, we feel the impact of this crisis as well. You know that we are not a member organization, unlike some of our colleagues elsewhere in the world. We don't have member fees, and our budgets are based directly on market performance, on actual trade. So that is why we also feel the financial impact of these figures, these ongoing declines. In this context of the reduced volumes of declining diamond prices, together with the board and the audit committee, which is the committee that is dedicated to this topic, we have, over the past weeks, conducted a thorough revision of our budget. We have further reduced internal costs. Operational adjustments are being implemented or have been implemented. This also includes reducing costs on staffing, such as implementing, as of next week, a technical unemployment for certain employees in the Diamond Office. And during this budget exercise that we've conducted with the audit committee, we have also noticed that the fees that are applied in the Diamond Office are, first of all, astonishingly low, by which I mean they are not even they're not aligned with the actual costs that are involved in the operations. And also importantly, they're much lower than what is applied in other hubs. It's not easy to compare because we have, I mean, it's apples versus pears, but if you take the total cost and everything included, this is the homework that was done by the audit committee, by the management team. It's much lower than in competing hubs. I think the most surprising element is that they haven't been changed in over 30 years. So that is something that we noticed, which is why the board has decided yesterday that we will adjust those fees starting July 1st. We will obviously provide you with more detailed information on what exactly will change. But I can assure you that we will remain highly, highly competitive compared to any other trade hub in the world. But this is just a heads up to give you the information. And as I said, more detailed information will follow. So that's it, I think, for the situation in the market, the trade figures, the impact it has. And we will come back to this point also in the section on Diamond Office.
So I will continue with some projects, or I will update you on some projects that we have launched the past few months. Important for you to know, and I don't think that is a surprise, is that these projects, of course, are all initiated to help you and to provide you with an even better service as a diamond trader or as a diamond professional here in Antwerp. And of course, to make your daily business easier. The first project that I want to address is the launch of our physical help desk. Almost 2 months ago now, we launched it on the 30th of April. The help desk is located in the AWDC building on the ground floor and is accessible 3 times a week, every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m. And the help desk is there to assist you in a personal way with business-related questions. So whatever you are struggling with and you need some in-person advice, our help desk officers are there to help you. And quite a lot of people already made use of this help desk. Since the start, we received, or the help desk received already 62 questions during the help desk days, which is like an average of 2.5 questions per help desk session. I thought that might be an interesting insight. Another interesting insights are the most common themes or the most common topics were compliance topics and also banking related issues, how to use the basic banking service, how to apply for a bank account, and so on. And then another very common topic is everything related to Diamond Office, Diamond Office import and export procedures, but also the status of diamond shipments in general. A second project, and that is in a way linked to what the help desk does, the physical help desk does, is our Rocky. Rocky is our digital assistant. He's accessible via awdc.be, our website, and he's in fact an AI-driven chatbot. And just like the help desk, you can ask him all your questions related to diamonds, related to the trade, related to business, and so on, and he will help you. What is the big difference with the physical help desk is that this chatbot, this Rocky, is available 24/7 via our website. He will never take a day off, so you can always reach him with your questions. And also, this tool is a huge success we see, not only for people within the trade, but also external stakeholders are making use of this new tool. To give you some insight, since the start, also around 2 months ago, more than 470 questions from people within the trade and outside the trade were asked to Rocky, who are looking for or curious for answers, looking for the issues they have. And in total, more than 250 different conversations were started. So I think this tool is quite a success. People really find their way to it and get an answer to the questions they have. If you haven't tried it yourself yet, I would warmly invite you to visit our website and to shoot your questions to Rocky and to see what the answers are. I think this tool can be very much an added value for your daily business. Also, if you're struggling with things and you don't know the answer, just address Rocky and he will help you with this. Maybe nice to know that the most common topics addressed to Rocky are questions related to diamonds and diamond grading. So a lot of people are interested in, let's say, the 4 C's, all things around that. Another very important topic or good topic is everything about diamond office procedures and exports, import and exports via diamond office, and also people who are looking for or looking to find a job in the diamond industry. And that is what brings me to the next topic and the next tool or project that we've launched, which is our job page, tailor-made for the diamond industry here in Antwerp. The job page is accessible via awdc.be/jobs. You can find there industry jobs as well as jobs available within AWDC, and is made for the industry jobs page is made for diamond companies who can very easily upload their open vacancies on this page. And it's very easy. We made it like a very good form with fillable fields, a very good button to click on and to upload your PDF file. The big advantage of this tool is that you are reaching immediately people who are already interested in the diamond industry. As from the start, 16 companies already have made use of this tool and made use of the opportunity to upload their job listings. Today, still 8 vacancies are online, and which means that already 8 job listings are also filled with this tool. So I think that a lot of companies see it as an added value to look for the right team member and to get their job listings filled. Another topic, and that's the last service-based topic that I want to discuss with you or you want to update you on, is the visa page. So it's something else that we did in close collaboration with the Consulate General of Belgium in Mumbai and the Belgian Embassy in New Delhi. And we have created a step-by-step guide to help Indian nationals with the request process for a short-term Schengen visa. And with this document, we want to simplify and speed up the visa request process, so our Antwerp diamond companies and their clients, of course, can focus on what matters most, and that is doing business, of course. I think that's very clear. You can all find the details about this guide on awdc.be/visa. And for now, this guide only applies for Indian citizens traveling to Belgium, but guidelines for other countries will follow very soon. We are working on them as we speak. And when these guides are ready, we will communicate about them via our well-known communication channels. And we will update the visa page on the website, of course. And then I've come to the latest update I want to give you, and it's something completely different. It's not service based or service related, and I don't think that any of you missed it. It is the launch of our We Protect a Legacy campaign. So 2 weeks ago, we did that in the Stadsfeestzaal on the Meer in Antwerp. The campaign exists of two important parts. The first part is the establishing or the highlighting of Antwerp's position as a natural diamond trading center, with the focus on natural diamond trading center for almost 580 years now. So since 1447, we are an established natural diamond trading center, and in the context of the market reality of today, I think it's very important to protect that position. Another part of the campaign was, let's say, more or less information and awareness campaign towards a very broad audience. Also, consumers and jewelers were our target audience. And we wanted to educate them about the differences between natural diamonds and synthetic diamonds, because we know that there is still a lot of misinformation about these two completely different products. We didn't want to, or we don't, we just want to inform people. We want them to give all the tools in their hands to make a well-informed decision when they are willing to, or when they are planning to buy a diamond jewel. We don't want them to push in one direction, but we just want them to make a very well-informed decision, and a conscious decision, a conscious choice, let's say, between natural diamonds or synthetic diamonds. What we did is we created some very hands-on and accessible guidelines or guides, and they're accessible via our campaign website. So it's awdc.be/natural diamonds, and there we've published 3 guides, hands-on guides, very easy to understand guides, and in these guides is all information what you need to know when you're going to buy or going to sell a diamond jewel. These guides are there for the consumers, for jewelers, and also for diamond traders. To announce this campaign, we have organized a press and activation event in the Stadsfeestzaal at the Meer in Antwerp. A beautiful location, I think, by the way, that fitted very well with the message that we have brought. And we were there in the Stadsfeestzaal for 2 consecutive days. Part of that activation was a rather gimmicky action, and I think that every one of you have noticed it. It isn't I think that everyone saw it, was a rather gimmicky action with a gumball machine that was filled with synthetic diamonds that we sold for only 5 euros. With this, we focused on the most visible and most clear difference between natural diamonds and synthetic diamonds, which is, of course, the difference in value and the price of this products. I think that we managed to bring a clear message that is pro-natural diamonds instead of a negative message against synthetic diamonds, what I think was the right choice and the right thing to do. Next to all of this, we also created a very strong campaign visual. I'm going to show you that in a couple of minutes. And we sent personalized version of this visual to a lot of Antwerp ambassadors, let's say, and people from the trade, with the result that we've seen our campaign being established all over LinkedIn. A lot of people used their customized or their personal visual to also spread their pride, let's say, show their pride for Antwerp as a natural diamond trading center. Next to that, we also created a strong campaign video. And in case you don't know where I'm talking about, I'll show both of them immediately. But I don't think, and that's something I want to end with, is I don't think that it is a surprise that we are not launching a pro-natural diamond campaign like this lightly, just for this. This campaign comes at a time of a major shift at the world stage, something that likely didn't escape your attention, I guess. And Karen will tell you more about this and will frame our campaign in the international context we are all part of. But first, let me show you the 2 videos that I have promised.
Yes, thank you, Ine. I think a lot of people here on the call have recognized themselves just now, so it's been picking up nicely. Let me tell you quickly a little bit more about the global funding effort. I think we spoke about it in a previous session, as well as the intention for the industry to come together and fund generic marketing, so category marketing, generic marketing for natural diamonds. Quick run through what happened. I think a lot of people witnessed at Facets that there was a clear call to action to finally get together. We've been saying that for quite some time. In January 2025, the AWDC started or initiated a proposal that we shared with our partners across producing countries, across other trade hubs and manufacturing hubs. And we started conversations with those stakeholders with a proposal that follows the KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid, a funding mechanism at source, not at trade hub level. And this conversation led to a number of stakeholders coming together, including the beers. We also worked with GGPC, DMCC, and then Angola and Botswana as two key leading hubs. On May 12th, we did a meeting here in Antwerp with a number of stakeholders to explain the basic principles of what we're trying to achieve. And last week, we were in Angola, and in between have worked hard on negotiating the fine details of language for a historic agreement, which is called the Luanda Accord. Simultaneously, as Ina just highlighted, we launched our own Protect a Legacy campaign, positioning ourselves as a natural trade hub. And during the Luanda agreement meetings, our vice president also announced that HRD, our lab, our daughter company, will cease to certify or grade synthetic diamonds. I can tell you that during the meeting in Angola, Antwerp was recognized, AWDC was recognized as a leading and instrumental partner in negotiations, figuring out the base principles and making the necessary conversation or starting the necessary dialogues with our partners. And we were also very clearly lauded for our clear-cut positioning on supporting natural diamonds. What is in this accord is, in principle, that there is a collective commitment from industry and diamond-producing countries to contribute a structural funding. So structural meaning that it will continue over time. So it's not a one-off of 1% of the annual rough diamond revenues at source. So not in Antwerp, there will be no levies in Antwerp or in Dubai or in Mumbai to support a global coordinated category marketing effort. The idea is that this burden is shared equally up and midstream, with contributing parties becoming part of a new structure of the Natural Diamond Council, which will continue to be tasked with this job to create this generic marketing campaign, where the midstream would be represented by signatories AWDC for the Antwerp community, GGPC for the Indian community, and DMCC for the Dubai community. The producing countries that participated in this meeting were Angola, Botswana, Namibia, DRC. They are signatories, so they have signed the agreement. South Africa, despite its minister saying during the meeting that he would sign, has not yet signed, but it's more a case of a pending situation. Now, obviously, other countries will be invited to step on board. Think of Lesotho, think of Tanzania. The strategy and the execution of this effort would be the task for the Natural Diamond Council, currently headed by David Kelly, as you know, with let's say the main goal is to reboost demand for natural diamonds, obviously, by familiarizing consumers with the true value of natural diamonds in every sense of the word, not just monetary value, emotional value, the value in the sense of social impact on local communities, etc. What is really, really key, I think, and demonstrates the commitment, the real commitment that is behind this initiative, and I can tell you it took a lot of blood, sweat, not tears. I'm not a person who cries very often. But Ndiama Angola has pledged $8 million at the meeting already for 2025, which is matched also by the beers. This brings the total 2025 budget, so for this year for the NDC, on 38.5 million. I can hear some of the people saying, well, what is 38.5 million going to generate? I think the important message here is that Angola, who previously has not contributed in any way to this effort, is now on board, and its commitment is very firm and strong. So I think this is a major step forward, and 38.5 million will also enable immediate action in view of the coming six months. The goal obviously is to achieve 80 million in 2026. Anything higher than that is obviously also good, but this is the goal for 2026, and potentially it can be ramped up in the following years. This is an agreement in principle, so this also means that the exact implementation of the mechanism will be different for different countries. A country where state-owned mining entities have joint ventures with private mining companies are a different case than, for example, a DRC, where the 1% will most likely be embedded to a certain degree in, for example, an export tariff, rather than in a consortium of miner and government. The idea is, and this was what the meeting in Antwerp was about, obviously, is that the midstream, who pays for the rough at source, is a major contributor, and that we as AWDC want to protect the interests of those midstream buyers at source. And then I pass the floor to Michael.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Michael. I'm leading the external affairs at AWDC. I just have one slide, which is the next one. Thank you. Which is an overview of the high-level contacts that we had over the past 2 to 3 months, both incoming visits and outgoing meetings. We try to focus on quality, not necessarily quantity. So really talk to the policymakers and the people that can have an influence on policy matters that are important for our industry. Latest important visit was this week, the visit of the French ambassador, France, which is a key country for its jewelry industry, and a key stakeholder in all discussions that we have on international trade, traceability, and so on. The issues that we discuss with these people are the well-known issues like the American tariffs, G7 sanctions on Russia, import controls and traceability, diamond office procedures, access to banks, obviously, which is the most difficult topic, anti-money laundering legislation, and labor migration. We managed to book some significant successes in the past months. Ina already mentioned it in terms of visa applications and procedures from India. This is going very smoothly. There's a big positive improvement in the treatment of the applications and the completeness of the applications, so that's really great. We managed to secure a commitment from the European Union not to levy import tariffs on American diamonds as a measure against the American tariffs. So that's quite important and a good achievement from the team. On other matters, we see improvements as well. In terms of the diamond office procedures, we still hope to land with the agreement by how would I say, by the summer, before the diamond holidays. And in terms of labor migration, things are proceeding good as well. So basically, I think in the past 6 months, we've been able to reach out to all the important political levels, the city, the government of Flanders, the federal government, and the European institutions. We managed to build trust again, build credibility, and build a very good working relation with key stakeholders based on trusts and transparency and open exchange of information. It remains challenging. It's still politics, obviously, And difficult issues such as access to banks is not something that we can resolve in a couple of months. But at least we have the feeling that the industry gets a broad support from all these political levels. Perhaps last one before I switch to my next colleague is that at the beginning of September, we're organizing a new concept, which is specifically aimed at policymakers, like influential people from academia, from think tanks and so on, but also journalists. We've invited them for a 2-day or 1.5-day immersion into the diamond industry with classic aspects such as a visit behind the scenes of the diamond industry, but also some in-depth workshops and discussions with these people on key issues for the diamond industry, such as marketing, competitiveness, synthetic diamonds, and traceability. So that's going to be something new for September.
Good morning. For Diamond Office, it is the first town hall, so we're going to look back on what we have been doing last year, what we are working on right now, and what are the plans for the future. And I'll start with the first topic, being the impact of the sanctions. As you all know, the sanctions on Russian goods started at the beginning of last year. The real issues came as of March 24, when you had to prove the origin of the goods that were in scope. At that moment, we were talking about non-industrial rough and polished diamonds from 1 carat and up. So the proof had to be delivered to the Diamond Office. We had to give the proof to the FPS Economy, who then did a check on it. And when approved by Economy, we received a G7 number for the rough and an approval for the polished diamonds. So that was an extra administrative workload for the Diamond Office. Then in September, the synthetics were included to the goods in scope, and goods in scope started as of 0.5 carat. In September, also the grandfathering started. Then in March of this year, we started working via the registry to deliver the proof to the FPS Economy. So everything was done in a digital way to make things work more efficiently. What was added at that moment was an extra legislation from the EU on the mentioning of the exact origin on the KP certificate, both for import and then indirectly also for export. So there were a number of stages that had a huge impact on the functioning of the Diamond Office, because first of all, we had to get acquainted to the new legislation. We also had to adapt our IT system, do a lot of testing. We also had to inform and guide you as our clients to go through these new regulations. We hired in some new people who also need to be trained. So it was quite a hectical period for us. But at this moment, I think most of the issues are tackled. So we see that the sanctions had also an impact on the number of registrations we handled. So in 2024, we saw a decrease of about 1/4 of the registrations. But nevertheless, the workload for the Diamond Office itself was quite huge and is still huge. We have another issue with the sanctions, and then we go to the next slide. So here you see the number of verifications, so the number of imports that were selected by customs to do a control on it. I always say one picture sometimes says more than 1,000 words. You can see that as of March 2024, the number of verifications increased tremendously from a few percentages before to about 90% of all the imports that were declared via the Diamond Office. So this also meant additional administrative work we have to handle. Talking about customs and the sanctions. So with the sanctions, customs decided to retrieve an agreement that was already started in 2010 and was renewed several times. This agreement was describing how issues that were detected while doing an expertise on goods were handled, especially if we were talking about reservations on value. In that agreement, for instance, the latest of 2016, it was described that if there was a valuation, a reservation on value, and it was not considered as being a fraud, goods could be released, and then later on, the proof had to be delivered within 3 months. So as of the sanctions, this agreement was retrieved by customs. So what did we do? We tried via the administration and also via the political contacts to get to a new agreement. We are working on that since almost a year, and we are now in the final stage. So as my colleague Michael said, we hope to get a final agreement by this summer. Together with this agreement, we are also working to get from customs a clear and a predictable policy of fines. Not only fines, but also the handling time if there is an incorrect declaration. So the goal is to get normal fines and to get the goods that are blocked released in as short as possible time. Also, if a company urgently needs the goods, we are trying to get them released based on a guarantee, and we are still in discussion to get this guarantee as low as possible. Now, if we have this policy, and that is the remark I made, it is not if something will not get a fine in this policy that it gives you a safe conduct to make mistakes. It is important that you don't make mistakes, that you avoid them in order to have your goods handled in an efficient way and not to get fines. So our advice is check before every declaration that the documents you have sent for both import and export are correct. If, for instance, for import, you doubt that there can be a mistake, ask to do an inventory on the goods, then you can inspect your goods before we make up the declaration, and in this way you avoid the blockage of your goods and fines that are given by customs. Before you enter the expertise room, you get from us a document called Opdrachtblad. It's the instruction form you give to the AWDC. Please check this document before you go into the expertise room so that you see that everything is declared correctly. At that stage, we can still do adaptations, but once you're in the expertise room and something is noticed that it is not declared correctly, then you will get blockage of goods and you risk to have a fine from customs. So please avoid mistakes. Related to customs, we have and still are working on some new IT applications that are all things that you don't see as a customer, but where we are working on the background. At the end of last year, in November 2024, the export IT system of customs was completely renewed. In January of this year, it was the transit system. So from for the transport from the airport to the Diamond office. Now we are already working on the import system that normally should be installed by September. So each time we have to do a lot of testing to do so that everything is declared correctly. Perhaps also to notice is that Customs is working on a new platform called My Customs. It will be a platform via which Customs will do its communication with companies. So there is no fixed date when this will be installed. So it is something that will be for the future. As soon as we have more information on that, we will also inform you. Also related to customs, AWDC has since March 2011 a license called Authorized Economic Operator. This license is very important because we are considered via this license as being a reliable partner for customs procedures and security. This license is important because via this license we have facilities to handle the customs declarations in a more efficient way. If you have this license, you get an audit every 5 years, and we had this audit in the beginning of this year, so this also took a lot of effort, but it was with a successful result. So we can guarantee that our way of handling remains efficient. The final point about internal operations. So where are the things we are still working on? First of all, we have developed a dashboard. It is a kind of a platform where we put in all the information related to number of registrations, number of goods that are blocked, handling times of goods. So the dashboard has been developed for our board so that they have insights on the efficiency of the Diamond office. Because, yeah, as you know, there are a lot of things that are said related to handling times or number of goods that are blocked. Now we're showing the figures. Just to give you an example, for the month of May, if we look at the handling time of import and exports, we saw that almost 70% of all imports and exports in May were handled the same day. So we also look at the number of cases that are blocked by customs. So if we go from the start of the sanctions, being the 1st of March 2024, the Diamond Office declared more than 47,000 declarations to customs. There were 256 shipments that were blocked by customs. 240 of them are released. And there are at this moment 14 that are still under consideration. So that means that about 0.5% of all the shipments that we have declared for import to customs had some issue, and that only 0.03% of them are still blocked by customs. So we hope to have a quick answer on that. This is, then Diamond Office is also going to put more effort on digitalization of our processes in order to work more efficiently. And for that, we are going to hire in a project manager. So that will be something for after summer. So the goal is to speed up the way we work inside the Diamond Office so that we can release your goods as quickly as possible.
Hello, good morning. As you may have heard, we are launching a new platform called KYCP. We already touched upon it during the last town hall. What is KYCP? It's a new digital tool for you, for the diamond traders, to identify their clients according to anti-money laundering legislation, but also to screen your clients and also to digitally onboard your customers. This tool, it replaces the compliance catalyst of Bureau van Dijk as of the 30th of July. So we still have 1 more month to use the compliance catalyst. And as of then, if you want to use, it's possible to use the new tool of KYCP. But of course, I advise you to already start using it now so that you have some time to transfer your data and your information that you have on the compliance catalyst to the KYCP tool. Why should you use the KYCP tool? Well, the KYCP actually has the same features as the one that the compliance catalyst of Bureau van Dijk had. So it's also possible to download company data from Orbis. So there's also a connection with Orbis. And there's also a connection with Grid. Grid is a risk screening tool. So it has all PEP lists, sanctions lists, FBI most wanted lists, etc., are also incorporated in the tool. So risk screening is also possible. But there are some additional features now. It's possible to, so you will see a dashboard, and it's possible in that dashboard to actually store the KYC data per client. So you will have a customer file in that dashboard per client where you store all the KYC information, documents, etc. That information then, as I said before, can be automatically risk screened via the Grid database. It's also possible not only to input yourself all your KYC data in that dashboard, but it's also possible to reach out to your customer via that dashboard, via a customer outreach tool, to let your client upload his KYC info directly into your KYCP dashboard. Then also your dashboard will guide you to accept or reject your client. So every step is logged. So when you get also an AML inspection, it's easy to show the AML inspectors, look, here I onboarded my client, I risk screened my client, and here you can see that I accepted or rejected the client. So it really will guide you throughout the entire KYC process. And it's actually a process now that is very manual with a lot of documents and emails, etc. So this tool should make that process much easier. It also will notify you when the KYC documents of your clients are expired. So if identity cards or bylaws expire, you will get a notification. And also it will notify you when to update your KYC information. So you don't have to think about that yourself anymore. How to get started? Well, if you want login credentials, you just contact me, trsst@awdc.be is my email. Most of you know it. And I will provide you with login credentials. If you would like an appointment now or later, it's always possible to ask me so we can have a one-on-one session, and I will explain you how the KYCP platform works. We already, my colleague Ina already created a web page on the AWDC website where you can already find a step-by-step onboarding guides, an FAQ, and we're also now in the process of creating an explanatory video. Now, to be very clear, the system is not live yet. We hope to get it live any day now. We will inform, because I already got many questions on that, we will inform the industry as soon as it's live. I hope today, tomorrow, or on Monday. But you can already contact me if you would like login credentials. And you can, as I said before, make a personal appointment with me also so I can explain you how the system works. Voilà, that's my update.
So this was it for this town hall. I think we managed to provide you with a lot of new information, and of course, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you all very much for your attention, and keep an eye on our events page. That's what I want to tell you on our